Isn't that the greatest song in... Well, no, it's not the greatest song, but it sounds awesome. Thank you very much for joining me again tonight. I am a Basis of Operations, and this is Terraforming Games, where I turn Skyrim, the video game, into a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. So thanks very much for joining me, but before I get cracking on with the show, I would like to have a little announcement that the Meeple Palace now has a Patreon page, and because of that I do have a shout out to make to Plutonium OD for being the second Patreon on that page. Yours truly was the first, but we won't go into that. Second of all, should you want to join us over on the Patreon, feel free. You can join from as little as like $1 a month. Why is that chat there? That's annoying. Let me change that. Yes, from $1 a month you can join as little as that, and if you want to do more, it goes up to like $3 a month, which is like ridiculous. So feel free, go check out the Patreon. And if Patreon's not a thing for you, and you're like, I don't really, it's not really a thing that you want to do, you can also check out the PayPal me link down below, where you can also send a couple of quid or whatever you want as a one-off payment. So with that out of the way, we will get on with the rest of the show, but I thought I'd like to shout in there if you wish to offer your support to the Meeple Palace and everything they're doing here, so feel free. Right, so I do realise actually, I just wanted that chat there, by the way, Missy, was the link that you said was the viewer counter was actually a chat bot. So it put up the chat twice, that's why it was going a bit weird. So yeah, excellent. Right, so I will get cracking on with this. Last time we left off this show, I had just about finished to get my players over up to Bleak Falls Barrow, which was one option that they could follow in session number 2. However, I also want to make sure that they can follow as many options as they wish. So that means I need to find the correct file, which is this one. When they choose to follow the session, they can go up to Bleak Falls Barrow, or they can go over to Whiterun. So with that in mind, I need to carry on going. Oh, hello, there's my computer going, no, I don't like that. So let's have a look at what these that's. Hang on a minute, so what's going on with the computer? Just bear with me a second. Technical difficulties as per usual. There we go, that's what we want to change. Okay. My computer doesn't like streaming Skyrim from the settings that I tell it to stream, and so yeah, it always comes up like that. So, so first of all, you know, the first part of the mission that they could do is go over to Bleak Falls Barrow and run off. Oh, is that? Have I lost the stream now? Or is it working okay? What's going on here? No, we're still live, apparently. No, that's working there. Okay. There was a network error on my PC. Right, okay, fair enough. Oh, dear. Right. Let's go back to this, and let's hope that this works properly. Still on. Right, excellent. Alright. Okay, yes, so my players got up to, well, I got up to Bleak Falls Barrow like my players could do and probably will do. However, I do want them to have the option where they can explore this world freely. And the only things that they have on their list, if they talk to the right people, is joining the rebellion, which they have no idea how to just yet. Maybe go up to Windhelm and find Ulfric. Kill the bandit leader over at the Halted Stream Camp. That's a bounty that they have, but if they find out where Halted Stream Camp is, it's like north of Whiterun. Visit the Shrine of Azura. They have, I don't think they were told where that is, but it's like right up north and it's miles away. Talk to Aventus Aretino, who is in Windhelm. Nothing they can do there. So the only options they have is go to Bleakforce Barrow and get the Golden Claw, or head to Whiterun and talk to the Jarl. So, in the last episode, I managed to get to Bleakforce Barrow, which is where they can take a long or short rest, depending on what they need to do. However, I do need to show them, I need to plan out the second course of action that they could do, which means I now need to, instead of doing Bleakforce Barrow, I now need to go to Whiterun and see what I can do to help extend the game. As some of you may have remembered, a few episodes ago, I was worried that my Session 2 notes weren't long enough, and even though my Session 2 notes are longer than my Session 1 notes, a lot of it is just talking to people, and you can talk a lot quicker than you can, talking takes up a lot less space than on a piece of paper, and combat will definitely lengthen a game session.
I'm glad to help any way I can.
So,
blacksmith Skyrim has ever seen.
Thanks, Papa.
That's a little vignette that I might show my players about Albor and his daughter Dorith. She wants to be a blacksmith like Albor does, but we'll see what I do about that. If my players ever want to know what's going on around Riverwood. Those are the sorts of things that you would do if you were kind of stuck for ideas about how to make the world feel alive. If the players are feeling that it feels like a computer game where all of your NPCs are kind of frozen in time until they are spoken to, having those little things that you can just say, oh, this is what happens at this moment as you were walking through, you happen to see people living their lives. So what we have here is we have over here, if you remember, that is the road up to the Barrow, and I am now going to take this road to head to Whiterun. To be honest, I could try and lengthen this down, but what we do need to do is, of course, we need to explain that they're following the other side of the river, and they are heading in a northeast-ish kind of direction, mostly north, to head to Whiterun. Now there are some wolves along here. I believe they come from there. If you're wondering why I knew that, is I've actually been playing this on my personal channel, because I felt like I would benefit from just playing along a bit, playing it and kind of getting used to everything. Where am I? Yeah, so I thought there was two walls, but there's not. Let's just have a look, because I do need to kind of make my way through the game, so I'm going to need some things. And, these kind of details here where it snakes down towards the river again, don't need to worry about it. However, I will mention the waterfall. They are heading towards the waterfall, and now, if it was daytime, let me just...
My way to solitude to join the Legion. The United Empire is better for everyone. I want to be on the right side.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Let's just wait 12 hours here a second. Just waiting. There we go, it's daytime. Alright, so what I want to do here is, again, always looking for opportunities for players to make a roll and do things. So they've made it way down to the waterfall here, and if they look north, and if I didn't get myself stuck, they make a perception check. They can see Whiterun just over there, and over on top of the hill there, let me just Over on the hill, whoops, that would do there. Over on the hill, just there, is Dragon's Reach, which of course is the palace where the Jarl is. So they can see Whiterun from down up here, and yeah, that's perfect. So we can run along down the hill, start heading down the hill. They can see deer. Remicity's druid is probably going to want to talk to. But we're going to head on down to the hill. Now there's not a huge amount of things to do along here, so a lot of this is probably going to be pretty much, like I said, there's no fast travel in D&D, but you can fast travel by just saying yes, it was fine. I might give them a few experience for running along and killing a wolf maybe. Kill a mud crab. Oh really? I'm so used to being able to do that in one shot. There we go. I'm so used to being able to do that in just one shot. I'm like, oh no, I'm a really low level. That takes me some time. Oh, it's got dark. Oh, that's nice. It's raining. So yeah, we're gonna head down here. Now when I was doing this playthrough on my channel, I decided I was going to have a look to see how, if you do head to Whiterun, I did do, I played it for about 4 hours on my channel the other day, and I did the, I went from Riverwood, I spoke to everyone, did the love triangle thing, and I then went to Bleak Falls Barrow to go through there and get the Dragonstone and the Golden Claw. And one thing I did notice that once I've done that, I've done everything available on the list. If you don't just go exploring, there's nothing to do, so you go to Whiterun, and I found that you're pretty much locked in. Once you get to Whiterun, you give the Dragonstone and instantly a dragon attacks. So I'm going to have to see if I can find a way of changing that a little bit, because of course my party currently, they may just about hit level 2, and a single young dragon might be doable for a level 2 characters, but it's going to be a hard fight, and I do not want to be losing any of my characters straight away. So one thing I do want to do is something I didn't do was explore Honeybrew Meadery. So, we're going to explore Honeybrew Meadery because I'm hoping that that will help distract my players from the main quest. Once they've done, let's say for argument's sake, they go through Bleak Falls Barrow, and they might be able to level up in Bleak Falls Barrow. Hey, Cook, thank you for the raid. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, my party might go to Bleak Falls Barrow and they might be able to get themselves up to, say, a level 2. Maybe midway to level 3, depending on how many bad guys I start throwing at them, depending on how easy they can deal with them. So even then, I don't really want them to start opening up dragons in the story until they get to like level 5, and even then they're going to be young. So I'm going to have to try and figure that one out. So I'm hoping that Honeybrew Meadery will give them a nice little distraction from just heading straight into Whiterun. So we'll see about that. But first of all, what I do need to do is I need to pop on to the computer view for the time being, and we need to see what we have here. So of course what we have here is everything that we've done so far, from leaving Riverwood and heading up to Bleak Falls Barrow. Just before they stop outside, we had the attack on the guard tower, and we have the guard bandits on the outside. So we've got that. That's basically where they will step. The sun will go down, and if they go that far, that will be the end of session 2. However, if they don't do that and they decide to go to they need to go straight to oh yeah, I do need to get rid of the other chatbot, thank you very much. Oh, for goodness sake, no, don't do that, just remove it, thank you. There we are. Yeah, so if they don't go up to Bleak Falls Barrow to go through there, we're going to have to get them to Whiterun. So what we're going to do is we're going to explain the trip from Riverwood all the way to Whiterun, and it's quite simple. And if the party chooses to head straight to the Jarl in Whiterun, which we will put in capital letters, of course, so that we can see that it just helps you remember these things. If you throw in, right, I'm trying to talk at the same time. If you put these sorts of things in capital letters, it helps you kind of remember what it is you're talking about, even if I can't type it. So if the party chooses to head straight to the Jarl in Whiterun, they will cross the bridge outside of Riverwood and head north. It's nice and simple, and I can explain what the time of day is. I can explain what kind of things that they're seeing and so on, but it's kind of a case of I might just leave that up to their imaginations. I mean, it's a nice warm day and so on and so forth, but they will be they follow the river on their right, on their right now. The river was on their left on the way into Riverwood, but now it's on their right, until they head, until they reach the waterfall. At this point, the trail starts heading downhill towards the city of Whiterun, and then it's quite simple. A DC, and it's going to be quite easy to see it because it's just, anything but a natural one, they'll probably be able to pass it. But players like rolling dice, and you just give them the ability to just go, you want to see something, roll a dice, even if it is a natural pass. This is the other thing. As I think I was having a chat with some of the folks for Missy T. I think I was having a chat with Missy T, and there's sometimes even though if something is going to be an automatic pass, because it's just such an easy thing to do in D&D, let your players roll for it, because at the end of the day they like rolling dice, and anything other than a natural one they pass, because it's like one of those, you don't do it all the time, but it's one of those things that's like, oh, is the dice going to screw me? And then no, it's not. I want to pick up a pencil, roll a dexterity check. Really? Yeah, you could end up stabbing yourself in the eyes. You pick it up if you're on a natural one. Just allow those moments of things that can happen. So it's a DC 5 perception check. Reveals that Whiterun about let's call it 2 miles in the valley below, and then of course I can explain the city. The city is a large walled city surrounded by vast plains where there are many farms, and you can try and, as you're trying to explain it, you can try and evaluate and have all sorts of adjectives that you can throw in there. The city itself seems to be split into 2 layers. The lower portion with many houses and shops, the Cloud District. DC-10 history, because if nobody's actually been into this town before, they wouldn't know. So let's do that. DC-10 history. So, and the other half is higher atop a large hill, and at the very top lies the Palace of Dragon's Reach. Nice and simple, everybody knows that. That's lovely, that's what they're going to do. What am I missing at the minute in the chat? Because of course we had that raid. Thank you very much for coming in with that. Pluto, you're in bed. Excellent. Oh yeah, feel free. Yeah, if you've got yeah, ask for a permit to throw in some Instagram links, and we'll have a look at those while we're doing it. How many of you trolled 8 hard tonight? You got one in but was embarrassed about it. Yes, I have not had the chance to get into watching it anywhere near as many streams as I wanted to recently. But yeah, I remember watching 8 way back when. A few months ago I used to drop in. It's fantastic. Alright, so we're at the Palace of Dragon's Reach. So, the party continues on down the hill. Now what I will do actually, and head north, after about 30 minutes of travel, I will put this in bold, DM, roll D20. 1 to 10. No, actually, you know what? 1 to 15. Nothing happens. And then 16 to 20. Wolf attack. 3 times wolves. That's it. And I'm not going to do any kind of major kind of roll initiative and do a battle mat and all that sort of thing. We're going to keep it theatre of the mind. I might grab my whiteboard and just draw out a square and just say, right, this is where you're at. You just get attacked by wolves. Again, CP farm, XP farming. So the, you know, throw in an extra couple of XP. Off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly how much XP a wolf has, but it's not much. It's like 25 XP. My party is about 6 members, so even with 75 experience across 6 players, they're not going to be getting a lot. Let me see if I still have the index card that I wrote out for my wolves. Yeah, if anyone is doing stream, our Meeple member does Terraforming games every Thursday. Yes, I do. I'm here every Thursday from 10 PM. Let's have a look. I have Imperial Guard, I have Bugbear, I have an Evil Mage, General Talius, Hadvar. I don't think I still have my my wolf ones. No, I don't have my wolf one anymore. I got rid of it. But I think off the top of my head, I think a wolf is like 25 experience. So, you know, this isn't going to be long. It's going to be like a quick, you know, it might be a surprise round. It might not, depending on if any of my characters are actually trying to look for anything coming up on them. I have warned them that, you know, the wilds of Skyrim can be dangerous. So, you know, bear that in mind. That's up to them. So other than that, that'll be fine. We'll just leave that as it is. And the party continues down the hill. As they reach the bottom of the valley. Cap blocks in bowls. Honey brew meadery meadery is whoops. Let's do this properly, shall we? Is on their left. And it would help if I didn't do it in bold. There we are. So that is kind of, so what I'm trying to do now is I'm just trying to add a little bit of a distraction. I'm hoping that they're going to throw themselves into it and have a look to see what is going to be seen there. So with that in mind, let's get back into it, and we will have a look to see what brand new players can find if they stop at Honeybrew Meadery. What is the time? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll wait for an hour just to make sure it's nice and, you know, it's 9 o'clock at least, so that everybody should be here. Honeybrew Meadery, it's a large building that's open. Requires a key to get into the boilery. That's fair enough. Can we go in here and let's have a look to see what we have in the meadery. Right, so let's have a look. Who's here?
Welcome. I'm the owner and proprietor of Honeybrew Meadery.
Oh, it's Honeybrew. Okay.
Honeybrew uses only the finest natural honey, not that sludge you'll find at Golden Glow Estate. Take a look.
And yeah, basically he's going to sell us. This is the meadery, right? Okay, apple pie, beef, chicken. Oh, there is meat there. Goat, rabbit, salmon, slaughterfish, venison. You would expect there's probably just that, so I'm not sure why he has all this other stuff here. Okay, fair enough. I didn't see the meat first time. But other than that, no, there's nothing here.
But what we lack in size, we make up for in quality.
Alright, okay, so let's have a look. So can we go into here? We can open that door. Let's have a look around.
You need something to do, or you just enjoy slowing down the hard-working folk? If you want to buy something, go find Saviorn. Otherwise, piss off.
Yeah, you do the poison mission here for the dark. Is it the? No, it's for Maven Blackbriar.
Some of the finest. If you're looking to purchase any mead,
Maven Blackbriar sends you to poison this place, which is fine for the Thieves Guild. But I just wondered whether there was something you could do here before that. Unlock the door requires a key. I'm not going to start pushing. I'm not going to start doing that. I'm not going to start picking pockets and stuff to try and find this place. I'm hoping my parties are going to start doing that. I'm just looking for anything to kind of stall the game a little bit, just so that they can try and find, you know, whatever experience they can find before they start doing, you know, don't want to do that. Just before they start unlocking dragons, because at the end of the day, that's the last thing I want them to do, is get to level 2 and we fight dragons. So, I mean, they could buy mead. So that is what they can. That's what they can do here. So, you know, and then the thing is, they may never come back here and do the Thieves Guild questline, because, you know, most of them are on the good side of the spectrum. So they might actually decide to try and destroy the Thieves Guild. I do need to. Hopefully, by the time that when my party gets to that stage, I will have the confidence to kind of say, this is how I'm going to change Skyrim completely, and that, you know, they'd just destroy the Thieves Guild, they'd destroy the Dark Brotherhood, and so on and so forth. So we'll have to see. There's the hype command that Missy T had put in about 10 minutes ago. And what have we got here? Welcome to the stream, Cajun Mage. Thank you very much for joining us. So yeah, so if we change back to the computer view for the time being, we can get here. Honeybrew Meadery is on the left. If they choose to enter the meadery, all they can do is buy mead from, I can't remember his name, So I'm going to do that for now. I can't remember its exact name, so I will look it for. And it's called, it's not Honey Brew, it's Honing Brew. There we are, Honing Brew Meadery, I think. I will look at the wiki when I finish the stream and have a look at that, and we will see. But they can buy some mead if they want to, you know, at the end of the day. If they want to get drunk, they can get drunk, basically. And I know that one of my characters is almost definitely going to want to buy themselves some mead. So that is what they will most likely do. And then, of course, that just adds some time as well to the game, and it will slow down. You know, every time they stop and talk to people, it's, you know, even if it is just a few minutes, it's extending the game. And like I said, you know, they haven't even got to the end of my game 1, my session 1 notes. So of course, you know, this is technically going to be more like, well, this will probably be session 2, but this could end up going into session 3. So if we go all the way to the top of my session 2 notes here, oh no, I've already added it in, didn't I? But basically, session 2 started after this little bit of highlight here to here, where they're left to take on a short rest, all the way back here. So this is how much they didn't do during the game. So it's a lot. It's 9 pages now so far. So yeah, so all they can do is buy some mead. So that's it. I was hoping there might be a bit more, hoping maybe there might be a clear the rats kind of mission, but no, that happens in the poison mission, so unfortunately that's what we're going to have to do. Oh, there's the shout out for aid. Oh dear. That bot is slow on the uptake. So, let us continue on with the game. And we'll have a look to see what else we can stall for time and maybe pick up a few extra bits of experience as we start heading closer and closer to Whiterun. Of course, as any of you know, there is a giant up here getting attacked by the well, there should be a dragon, yeah, or with the companions. There he is. Actually, I'm going to change that. Hopefully I can throw in oh, and he's dead already, look at that.
Well, that's taken care of. No thanks to you.
I got another interest.
Certainly not. But a true warrior would have relished the opportunity to take on a giant. That's why I'm here, with my shield brothers. An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough.
Yeah.
Not for me to say. You'll have to talk to Codlack Whiteman up in Crevassel. The old man's got a good sense for people. He can look in your eyes and tell your worth. If you go to him, good luck.
There we are. So, that's handy, because what that now means is that's something they can do. Hopefully what I'm going to do actually is, I really don't like that, because you know, most of the time you do not get there quick enough to even land a hit, and if you do land a hit, excuse me, she tends to be a bit more nice to you. So I think it's going to be a case of, hopefully I'll be able to, at least one of my party might feel quick enough that they're going to pull out a bow and just fire. If they do that, then of course it will count as if they fought, and they will get the experience of killing a giant, which will be really helpful. If they don't, they won't. Simple as that. So again, we will go in here, but this time what I do need to do is go back to my favorite website, and have a look at, once it loads up, and I will Google search Skyrim wiki. Computer's being a bit slow, I apologise, as always. There we go, Elder Scrolls Fandom. and we will look for Ayala, the Huntress, and hopefully this will load up. We'll see. Unfortunately, I think my computer's doing an awful lot at the minute, so it's struggling to maintain its. Let's get rid of that one. Marriage, trainer, follower. No, that's not helpful, is it? That's not really giving us what we need. I have a lot of things open at the minute, so hopefully it's hopefully everything's working okay. I want to search for something else. Chrome isn't responding. That's not helpful. Companions. Companions insight. No, I don't want an advert for whatever that is. The companions are warriors. Here we go. Oh, there we go. That's what we want to look for. Trying to do about 6 million processes at once. This is not helpful. PC multi-threading. It's really trying, and it's not doing brilliantly, but it's kind of getting there. So the companions of warriors of the Guild of Skywalkers. Companions of warriors are guild in Skyrim. So it's a similar function to the Fighters Guild in the various other games, which isn't really a problem. I will do a fact sheet for myself. I spelled Ayala wrong, so that's probably why it wouldn't find her, but there she is. But basically what I'm looking for here is more to do with it's possible to encounter Ayala before the knowledge of the companions is acquired. She may be found fighting a giant at Pelega Farm on the outskirts of Whiterun, along with Rhea and Farkas. She approves or disapproves of the action taken by the Dragonborn in helping to kill the giant, depending on the amount of assistance given in defeating it. Only one successful strike is needed to gain her favour. Regardless, she suggests visiting Yorvaskar and speaking to Kodlak Greymane about joining the companions. Basically what we just saw, which is great. What I do want to do is see if I can find the dialogue, which I'm hoping it's here. Take up arms, Collect Glory of the Dead. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's here. So it looks like I'm going to have to create something. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to have to do that. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm not going to sit here trying to think about what I'm going to put in here. So further along the path, oops, let's get rid of the bold, thank you very much. The path to Whiterun. Any passive perception of a dragon isn't a giant probably isn't very difficult to see, so if anybody has a passive perception lower than 10, they're not going to see it. I don't think any of them will be that low. We'll see a group of black armored fighters fighting a giant on I'll double check spelling later as well, on Pelega Farm. Any quick thinking player can get involved with the fight if they do. I can't remember how to spell it. Ayala. The huntress will be pleased with them. If not, she will scoff at their cowardice. Either way, she will encourage them to join the companions. Simple as that. Xander, thank you very much for joining me as well. Sorry it took so long to join Pond. No worries. Shame. Yeah. Shame. Ding 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 ding. Yeah. Anyway, she will encourage them to join the companions, which hopefully will be, you know, something that they may or may not choose to do. And again, if they do join the companions before they decide to go to Whiterun, or more to the point, if they go to the companions and deal with that before they go to the Jarl, again, it'll probably help them boost their experience up a bit more, because they could, you know, this is going to be a placeholder conversation. The players learn who the companions are, what they do, find there is gold in hunting, and that sort of stuff. So they can find that sort of stuff out, where they can learn, you know, and it's more of a way that I can encourage them to be, you know, to go to the companions. Getting use of your remote allowance. You love the rip remote. I've got, yeah, I must say I do like the rip remote, which was created for me by Stasius. If anybody's interested in that, she created all three of my emotes for me. That is that. They're at the companions. So I'm hoping that adding this in is going to help, so that basically what I can do is stop the game once they reach Whiterun. That's what I'm hoping for. So what we'll do now is we can go back to gameplay. Oh, hello. What's that going? What's going on at the bottom there? Is there some weird stuff being added to the stream while I'm doing stuff? Legend. Yeah, Stasis is alright. So yeah, I can find that out in a bit, and we can do that. What really does my head in though is that, you know, Giant's Toes are really important, because they make a really awesome health potion, and you can't get any from there. From that particular giant. So yeah, I mean, they can find various bits and pieces here. This is Pelega Farm or whatever it is. It just looked, I was looking at the Facebook stream, and the Meeple Palace, was it the boss? Stream boss? It's not actually showing up on, it's not showing up at the minute. But I saw it on Facebook, it popped up and then it disappeared again. Let's have a look at this. Unlike Pelega Farm, I'm not going to start breaking and entering. It's not what I want to do. I hope my players are not going to start doing that either. You know, I mean, obviously when you're playing a computer game, you know, it's kind of okay to do, but D&D, you tend to want to be, you know, good people. Theoretically, you're heroes. Hopefully not everyone is going to start robbing the joint. So what we can do is we can carry on along here, carrying on from the fight, We can find Whiterun stables. We can have a look to see if there's anybody to talk to. Unlock the stable. What time of day is it? No, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so if any doors are going to be open, they will be open. We can talk to this guy. What's his name?
Steeds in all of Skyrim.
Yeah,
A man
excellent.
like you needs a
How old are your
horse.
horses?
None of them's older than 9, and the youngest is 6. Now the horse I got for sale is 7 years old, but in fine health. She's got a lot of spirit, that
Let me guess.
We've
Someone
taken to
stole
calling
your
her
sweet
Queen
roll.
Alfsiger, or just Ali for short. I expect you can name her anything you like once she's yours.
There you go. It's popping back up again. It keeps popping up on the stream. I just saw it just then on the Facebook. On the what's it? It's definitely the stream boss, but I don't understand why it keeps popping up and down. Can't buy horses. They're like 5 grand each, and I have 152 gold. So yeah. So we can talk to this guy. I'll probably have a look at the wiki there, and because I wasn't listening to what he was saying. But they can enter the stables, and they can talk to people. Most of the time, there probably isn't going to be anybody to talk to. Jerva.
Talk to my father, Skullbar.
Fair enough. Thanks, I suppose. Stream boss and alert bot test works. Okay. I didn't see the alert test.
You look strong. Come to your Basker and be a companion.
Now, when I played this the other day, it glitched because the guards weren't outside. But they are now. Excellent. Yeah, that's it. Walk all the way down here.
City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only.
Interesting. So again, I mean, this is going to be really interesting. Actually, see how the party deals with this. So yeah, I mean, obviously, it's going to basically work exactly the same as it does in Skyrim. Riverwood calls for the Jarl's aid. You can persuade him. You can change his mind with gold. You can try and intimidate him. I'll be interested to see how my party deals with this.
Riverwood's in danger too. We better go on in. You'll find the Jarl in Dragon's Reach at the top of the hill.
Yep, that was easy enough. Just say, I want to go in. Fair enough. But it allows the party to decide what they want to do. They can intimidate him, they can bribe him, they can persuade him with their honeyed words, whatever it is they want to do. Or they could just say, we've come from Riverwood and I need to speak to the Jarl because Riverwood's in danger.
Getting tired of hanging around.
And hopefully what I will be able to do is I would end session number 2 if they make it this far, unless if they come this way with welcome to Whiterun. So hopefully that will be what we'll do. So let us just nip to the computer view one more time. So that's what they've done, and then what they can do is the party leaves the farm. There's nothing on the dragon to fight. There's nothing on the giant. Giant has 50 gold on him. So should the party investigate, DC 10. That way, you know, we'll investigate it. There'll at least be something on there to get. Now you need to sort out the bot fund. Yeah, because I don't know what's going on with the bot though. It's so bloody slow, isn't it? It's been so slow. So yeah, the party has 50 gold on him. And the party can do whatever they want. One person, obviously only one person can investigate. They can either keep it or take it away. Carrying on northbound. A few mins later, they come to Whiterun stables. Not much to do there. Not much to do here. They could buy a horse if they had. Actually, I wonder if there is a. Oh, let's hang on. I wonder if there's a cost on the DM screen. I mean, this DM screen. This is the dungeon screen reincarnate or something. I wonder if there's a. I know there's travel costs on here. I just wondered if the cost of a horse was on here as well. I could probably find it in the DMG, but I don't fancy trying to search my way through that book. Travel pace services. No. I might have to, unless of course any of the DMs in the chat know how much a horse will cost. Other than that, I'll have to see how much they have. But yeah, they can buy horses if they want, but they are going to need to, figure out how they're going to, sleep. Why did I put ST on the end of northbound? I mean, it's ridiculous. Continuing on, they come to the gates of Whiterun itself. They are barred and guarded. You don't know, one sec. Alright, thank you. So the guys here, one of the guards approaches the party. Whiterun is closed to visitors. You'll have to leave. There are dragons about, and Whiterun is on lockdown until we can assure safety for all. Or something along those lines. Again, a lot of this will probably be improvisation. I don't want to write myself a complete script, but basically I'm going to explain to my players that, no, go home. It's 1,000 gold apiece. Excellent. Psycho Kid Trick or Treat, thank you very much for joining me. And yeah, I wouldn't mind a treat. That would be nice. So it's 1,000 gold. Each to hand. 1,000 gold for a horse. Thank you very much for finding that out. The players can now choose who would like to talk to the guard, as well as to how. Intimidate, persuade, bribe, or just explain the situation. Intimidate is going to be DC 15, because let's face it, this guy is a guard. The persuasion roll is possibly going to vary, because it depends on what they say. I mean, if they start talking about, if they're trying to persuade him by talking about, dragons and danger, and that, they were there, they saw what's going on, and you just let us in, and we can warn everyone else, the DC might drop. If they just start kind of not being aggressively trying to talk to him, if they're just being unaggressive, the DC will be higher because they're not really hitting any buzzwords. They could bribe him. I'm not going to have 80 gold. It's going to be 10 gold. No, it's going to be a bit more than that. 50 gold pieces. Because let's face it, you got the he has the entire town under, you know, he's got the entire town to worry about. But if they just explain the situation and the buzzwords are something akin to Riverwood has called for aid. If they say something along the lines of, you know, they come from Whittlewood and Gerda, that's another buzzword that they can use. Gerda has sent them. Yeah, if they use words like that, you know, obviously they're buzzwords. You know, Gerda does not, you know, the Jarl himself later on says that Gerda is quite a solid person. A pillar of the community, is not akin to taking flights of fancy. So if she says something, yeah, it probably is true. So those are the kind of buzzwords that I will be looking for. I might add to that in the future off of stream, if as I'm basically proofreading my notes, something else might come along. So I will have a look at that. Other than that, once successful, the party finds themselves within the walls of Whiterun. And what's really annoying is that basically it's a brand new page. End of session. Now what I do like to do at my end of session is, if the party travelled direct from Riverwood to Whiterun, the time of day would now be, if they left Riverwood, they were doing Riverwood first thing in the morning. They've travelled most of the day, so it is probably heading towards late afternoon. And then if the party has travelled from Riverwood to Bleak Falls Barrow, current time of day is dusk. No, it's nightfall. As in, the sun had just gone down by the time they climbed up the mountain up to Bleak Falls Barrow. So there we have. Now I tend to go back through my notes, and I will find out how many fights they do. And at the bottom here I tend to add what fights they could or couldn't have done, how much XP they can get for that fight, how much XP per player, so that I figure all of that out before I even get to it at the end of the session. So other than that, that basically is, after 6 episodes of Terraforming games, I have now managed to figure out session number 2. So that's that. I do need to go through it, and I need to make sure that I've got everything that I need to do. I do have that placeholder here somewhere. There we go, placeholder conversation. Let me just put that in bold so I don't forget it. that is going to be something that I need to figure out. I need to possibly even go back and forth a few times just to try and see if I can get a hit on the dragon, get a hit on the giant, see if I can figure it out. I'm hoping that 10 pages of notes is going to be enough to do session number 2, and of course we'll see. I'm going to have to change my format slightly because this is session number 2. Session number 3 could be one of two ways. It could be the party going through Bleakforce Barrow, and it could be the party going through Whiterun. So my session 3 notes is going to be more of mission notes, depending on which route they took. So I'm gonna have to have a think about that, because I can't really do session 3 notes until we played session 2. Session 2 is going to be played here with the players that I have on the 16th of November. So that's going to be, that's 2 weeks on Saturday. So we're going to have to see if we can figure out exactly how I'm going to fit everybody in. And what choices they make, because they still haven't even left Helgen yet. So I need to figure out exactly what it is they're going to be doing. So I think we're pretty much coming to the end of the show. Wisebot is working much better than Batisimo. Oh, excellent. Right, okay. Batisimo is just slow, I take it. So we're going to use Wisebot. Either way, let me just do one final thing, of course, before we head off. If you want to join the Meeple Palace on their Discord server, you can find a channel on there that says Tapestry, or Tapestry Showcase. And what it is, we like to showcase some people's work so we can share it. And I want to have a look to see what we have on there this week. So let's have a look to see which what's it I need to open. I think it's this one that I need to open. There we are. So yes, it's a Google Doc called Tapestry Showcase, and there it is, where we all put all sorts of things on there. We have got some things already been shown on previous shows, and also you'll probably see some of these tomorrow when we play our Horde of the Dragon Queen campaign. But this week on here we have a picture here. Plutonium OD, who is also the second Patreon for the Meeple Palace, has put up Mad Donna Ulanti, a 90s Necromunda beach for hire. Fair enough. So what we can do, I've already got it open here. Hopefully it will load up. That would be helpful. There we are. We have a Necromunda model, which you have just started building. So this looks like an old metal model. If Pluto's still hanging around in the chat, you can throw in some chat. Maybe you want to explain something about it. Many people, I do talk to a lot of people about models. I don't have a massive, he's tagged it Oldhammer. I don't have a massive nostalgia for Oldhammer, personally. I do like the plastic models. I think they look really cool, and the new stuff I don't really, look back and with glassy eyes and go, this is amazing. But it's nice to see, you've got some block colours going on down there. I can't wait to see it finished. So if you want to throw up your finished result when it gets done, feel free to throw that in the Discord and on the Tapestry as well. But yeah, I really love it. It's really nice, and you've done a brave choice by throwing on some yellow on there, but I'm sure you'll be able to do it pretty well. I like it. It looks good, and I can't wait to see it finished. So that's what's on the Tapestry this week. Not a huge amount on there. It was shown last night, but I'll show it again on mine. This is something that I've recently finished personally. It's a blacksmith from 3D LED scenery. This blue stuff is not actually, it doesn't look like that anymore. If I grab it off the thing here, I can actually show you on the desk now. If the desk view works but the cam doesn't work, and I also need to delete that because that's annoying. Can I get rid of that? Yeah, let's get rid of that. Cam number 1. I don't know why that's not working. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it doesn't have those blue things on there anymore because the gloss medium has dried now. A nice little blacksmith, so I can do that. Old school Necromunda. Yeah, we'll do. It's a hospital job. Fun colour scheme. What do you mean hospital job? As in you have to fix it, or it's you do it at a hospital? What do you mean? But yeah, I will probably show that again on. We might show that again this week on Horde of the Dragon Queen. Speaking of Horde of the Dragon Queen, we will be back here on the Meeple Palace from 9 PM GMT, but that is 10 PM European time plus 1 GMT, of course, where you guys can see it. Oh look, there we go. There's a schedule in the chat. There we are. Fantastic. So yeah, you can find the Horde of Dragon Queen tomorrow night, where we will be continuing on the adventures of a band of, well, 2 rogues, a dragonborn, a cleric. Yeah, it's fun. We enjoy it. So yeah, that will be on tomorrow. So feel free to join us there. You can find me, Bases of Operations, on my channel, twitch.tv/Bases of Operations, on Sunday, where I'll probably be painting what you can possibly hear printing on the printer right now, or I might be able to do myself a favour and make a start on painting something else I printed, which is a sawmill. So make sure you catch me on my channel for there. You will be raiding Houndstooth Minis this week. Fantastic. So stick around for the raid for then. And I will say thank you for joining me this week. I'm ending. It's been a bit of a shorter episode today because I did just need to finish off my session 2 notes. So I've got that done now, which is handy. Next week I will be back on Thursday, same time, 10 o'clock ish, where I will start on some mission notes perhaps. Alright, so thank you for watching this one. Catch you tomorrow for Horde of the Dragon Queen. Alright, bye y'all.